Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
For over 50 years, Burlington's legacy has been great deals on coats for all weather conditions. So before you're caught unprepared for the winter weather, head to Burlington for name brands, quality items, and surprising fits for every family member. Stock up on coats, sweaters, and accessories before the cold hits, so you can finally stop avoiding the elements and start living comfortably. Warm up at your nearest Burlington location less than 1 mile away. Burlington. Deals, brands, wow.
This is Optimal Finance Daily. Penny Stock Debacle, How I Lost $5,000 and How You Can and Better Avoid It, by Jeff Rose of GoodFinancialSense.com. I get sick when I think about that day and the mistake that cost me $5,000. I compare it to something in between smashing my thumb with a hammer to breaking your mother's most beloved piece of china. It is something that makes me sick just reliving it. I actually just puked in my mouth a little bit. Ugh. I've been a financial advisor for almost 4 years, so I should have known better. But thanks to a lot of greed and even more ignorance, I got my rear handed to me on a silver platter. The temptation. I was meeting with a client who was telling me a story about their daughter's boyfriend whose dad worked for some mining company. Do you see how bad this starts off? I usually make fun of people that would even entertain stories like this. And here I was caught up in the moment. Back to the story. The client was telling me how this company had just signed some new deals, and since it was a penny stock, otherwise known as OTC or over-the-counter thinly traded security, there wasn't a lot of news about it. His theory was that this penny stock could soar pretty quickly. Don't you like how I'm getting advice from my client who really knows nothing about investing? And I'm really considering taking his advice about what the next stock is I'm going to buy? That has epic fail written all over it. I had some cash in my investment account, lucky me, so I thought I might as well give it a shot. Seriously, that was my logic. Might as well give it a shot. I should have hired one of these advisors to punch me in the face. I proceeded to place a trade to buy a certain number of shares of this stock that was going to make me millions. Not even close, buddy. Not by a long shot. Buying an OTC stock. Whoops. When buying an over-the-counter stock, otherwise known as a penny stock, you must be sure to protect yourself and make sure that when you place an order to buy or sell, that you put a specific price on it. I unfortunately put an order in to buy at market. Translating, that means that I put an open order to buy whatever price that someone is going to sell it to me for. If you think about it in eBay terms, instead of bidding on the price, I elected to buy now and the seller could increase the price if they so choose. In larger stocks that are traded on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ, that's typically not an issue because the market will keep that price in check. In the over-the-counter market, it's a different story, an entirely different story. The wild, wild west. You can think of the OTC market like the wild, wild west of trading. Just because the stock is trading at 90 cents doesn't mean that you'll buy or sell those shares at 90 cents. If I put a buy order in at market, that price could shoot up to $1.90, $3, whatever their price might be. Essentially, that's what happened in my case. I had put in an order to buy, say, 2,500 shares. I don't remember the exact number. And a few hundred of the shares executed at what I thought was the market price. But I quickly and expensively learned that a lot of them issued at a price double of what I intended to buy it for. To make matters worse, after the trade settled, the prices were displaying what I thought I was paying for in the beginning. To summarize, I submitted a buy order for 2,500 shares of a penny stock at market, and I thought I was buying it for 90 cents. I bought a few hundred shares at 90 cents, but most executed at least 2, if not 3 times that. This means that I made an investment of $5,000 instead of what I thought was going to be $2,250. After the trade settled, the price reverted back to the original price of 90 cents. If I sold it that day, I would take an immediate huge loss. If I'm doing a bad job of explaining how the system works, it is a further demonstration of why I have no business buying penny stocks. Chances are, if you're reading this, you fit that description too. So let's reflect on how I screwed up royally. Don't do as I do, but do as I say. Before you start trying to make yourself believe that you can make millions off buying penny stocks, take note of how I screwed up and how I let my overconfidence and flat-out ignorance get the best of me. Number 1, I listened to advice from someone I had no business getting advice from. My client knew nothing about the stock, knew nothing about the company other than what his daughter's boyfriend had told him. Whenever you're getting investment advice from someone, make sure you consider the source. Number 2, I had no idea how the over-the-counter market works. This system works nothing like logging into my TD Ameritrade account and picking up a stock on the New York Exchange. It's more like traveling to Spain, going to a flea market, and trying to bargain with a vendor even though I don't speak the language. Chances are I'm going to get screwed, just like I was in this situation. Number 3, greed is not always good. I don't care what Gordon Gekko says. I was doing just fine, making a decent return on my boring mutual funds, but the chance of quadrupling my money in a short amount of time got the best of me. That was the last penny stock that I've ever bought and will ever buy again. I don't care if my best friend's uncle's seamstress knows a guy that has an insider at some other company. Never again. You just listened to the post titled Penny Stock Debacle, How I Lost $5,000 and How You Can and Better Avoid It, by Jeff Rose of GoodFinancialSense.com.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first, like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the new generative AI assistant from AWS. Many tasks can make business slow, like wading through mud. Help! Luckily, there's a faster, easier, less messy choice. Amazon Q can securely understand your business data to help you streamline tasks, like summarizing quarterly results or doing complex analyses in no time. Q got this. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
Remember the GameStop debacle? I am a long-term passive investor, so I was unfazed by the excitement and not tempted at all to join in on the fun. You can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes over here. Do hedge funds and investors make money by short selling? Totally. But from my perspective, it's overcomplicated and risky to play a game that includes terms like hedging, call options, float, and strike prices. Do you even know what those things are, and are you confident that you can navigate them skillfully? Yeah, me neither. Now, don't get me wrong. I am thrilled for the people who made money off this short squeeze. However, there were many first-time investors that wanted to join the party but weren't experienced enough in this type of trading to know when to get out before they would take a huge loss. The way I look at investing is that there's a way to invest that's relatively safe. You stash your money away for the long term in low-fee total market index funds, and you passively set it and forget it. You don't conjure up strategies driven by greed to beat the market because you don't need to beat the market to meet your financial goals. You just need to match the market because the market has proven to always go up over the long term. It's the best way to let your money grow and protect it against inflation. Now, while the market always goes up over the long term, in the short term, it's a roller coaster ride of highs and lows, and there are ways to profit from this. However, oftentimes these short-term strategies look a lot more like gambling than level-headed investing. And this isn't a moral judgment here. I'll play a roulette table in Vegas for fun every now and then, but the point is, it's just for fun. it's not really a sound financial strategy for most of us. And that should do it for today. Have a happy rest of your day, and I'll see you in the Thursday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.